Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick, which benefits Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, is a medical humanitarian organization working in more than 60 countries around the world. MSF is a private international association. MSF provides assistance to populations in distress, to victims of natural or man-made disasters, and to victims of armed conflict. They do so irrespective of race, religion, creed, or political convictions. Find out more at doctorswithoutborders.org. And it looks like we're ready with our Oracle of Seasons Any Percent run by mghtymth. Best of luck.
Hi, my name is mghtymth. I'm running Oracle of Seasons today, and also I hope you're all doing well today because you're all very wonderful. Z-Master and VB behind me doing couch commentary. So when we're ready, 3, 2, 1, go. So just a quick and dirty rundown of the story. Link gets summoned by the Triforce and is sent to a world far away, Holodrum, and in there he's going to be saving the Oracle of Seasons and the Temple of Seasons from destruction, sort of, by beating the evil General of Darkness, Onyx. But first we have to go through this hi hello party.
Din is best girl, by the way.
Yeah.
Word.
Fact.
Better than Nehru, totally. Shoutouts to the Oracles community. So, and then Onyx comes in as a tornado and ruins our little get-together. Kind of a big meanie like that.
Link tries his hardest.
Now, by sinking the Temple of Seasons and capturing Din and Crystal, the Seasons of Holodrum are going to go all out of whack, and the land is going to rot and be destroyed, which will light a flame of destruction, which, in addition to the flame of sorrow in ages, will be used in an evil ritual to summon Ganon. If it sounds convoluted, it is. It's oracles. So now, there's not really anything else if y'all want to read any donations.
Absolutely. So we have a $25 donation from Salmon Buffalo. Hey, mghtymth, just wanted to wish you luck on your run. It fills me with gleelock to see Seasons at a GDQ again. Unfortunately, I have to Goma home while it's going on, but I can't wait to watch the video later on. I've decided to get back into learning the Seasons run, so with the gift of time, one day I might be as good as you are. Have fun.
So something to talk about is text in this game. It's the first place where you can really save time. You just alternate A and B as fast as you can. Mighty is an insane text masher. He's one of the best in the community for sure. So you're going to be seeing really fast text throughout this one.
So the first thing we're getting is our sword here. And we have to go through a bunch of levels with Keese. And Keese are like the worst enemy in this game because they're super random. You just kind of have to work around them. But that's what kind of separates the good runners from the great runners, is dealing with enemy luck and all that kind of stuff.
The early game of this one is a lot about cutting corners as close as you can before you get a lot of the movement tech. It's going to be the first of many save and quits. Something to notice, he actually does not choose the save and quit option. What he does is he chooses save and continue and then soft resets. And that saves a few frames over just choosing save and quit.
Those keys were nice to me.
Yeah.
Now let's try and preserve that through the run. First pit of the run.
Yep. No biggie, just moving on through, getting the sword here. Thankfully, the game just kicks you out of this mini dungeon don't have to walk out.
That's one thing we didn't talk about is when we went into the town, there was a season that popped up. It's random every time you go into it. I think this is the only screen that has that thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All the seasons don't really matter unless you get to winter here. Winter is the only one that can lose time. So we'll talk about, I guess, later what the different seasons do. But winter can kind of kill trees and also make mounds of snow. And so in this case, if it's winter, there's a mound of snow where he just walked through, and he would have to walk all the way around it, wasting a lot of time. But other than that, we have control over the seasons otherwise. So I mean, we only walked through the town a few times, so it doesn't affect the run too much.
And we get the key to Dungeon 1 from the tree, which probably has a name.
The Great Maku Tree.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Husbando tree. So this game, actually, I don't really know the whole story, but this game was kind of like a Zelda 1 remake when it started, I think.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of the remnants of that in this first dungeon, especially with the boss, but the first couple of rooms are very Zelda 1-esque, which fits with the Zelda 1 race we just had before this. So these first couple rooms are just big squares, and you have to push some blocks and kill some enemies to open doors.
This is the first room where you see enemy RNG really be a huge factor. You need to kill all 4 of those Stalfos. And they can spread out. Mighty got pretty good RNG there. They weren't too far out. If you're really lucky, they're all just grouped together and you can kill multiple of them with 1 sword swing. He also got a 5 rupee drop there. He needs 10 rupees before, or after Dungeon 2. Mighty's going to need 10 rupees. That's the only rupees you need in the run. There is a manipulation later to get them, but if he just gets the drop, that's better. He doesn't have to worry about dropping them in there. Minecart zone.
Great.
Lots and lots of minecarts. This game has a love affection for minecarts.
Capcom was smarter about them in Minish Cap and made
Yeah.
them go like 10 times the speed.
And they also removed like half of them.
Yeah, they're only in like a couple dungeons.
So now we get bombs and we can bomb some walls, and there's a really cool mini boss fight coming up in this dungeon. It's kind of finicky because there's a little randomness to it, but you can get a really fast fight if you get lucky enough.
And coming up in this next room, thankfully, Mighty has a lot of health, so he's going to be able to boost through these spike cutter guys. Traps, yeah.
I don't know what that guy's called.
Call him a saw. Please give me.
Oh
And,
my God.
and thankfully, there's a fairy there that Mighty was able to get. So yeah, if you paid attention there, you'll
it was
notice.
a really good fight.
Really good fight. If you paid attention, he got a double hit with the bomb, and that's how he was able to do a lot of damage.
There's another reference to Zelda 1, this room and the room before it.
Sadly, no block clip.
Yeah, right.
Quick note about fading transitions. If I mash pause on a fading transition, I can move more quickly out of it. So I'll try and make most menus on those.
So after this room, he's going to hard reset,
Ooh.
which resets the RNG. We're not going to talk during it because he needs to hear some stuff. We'll talk about it a little bit later.
Yeah, after he does it.
Okay, so this is the start of a very long RNG minute, which is probably about like 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something. It's not a big deal if it goes wrong, but so there might be a problem, but you might have a backup.
He has a backup.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you can miss the Ember Seed there, but get the other two, and it'll be like the backup minute.
Okay, so I'll let him do this fight first.
Good
All
fight.
right, good, nice. So the first thing that this RNG Manip is doing is Aquamantis can do an attack where he charges against the far wall. And when he does that, he has to fly all the way back and land before you can hit him again, and it wastes a ton of time. So the RNG Manip makes it so that he doesn't get any charges, and it goes as fast as possible. So when he was doing the sword slashes there, he was listening for the sounds of the sword slashes, and that tells him where he is, or where the random number generator is. And the RNG is pretty, like, I don't know how to say it, but you can control the RNG very well in this game. It doesn't rely on like the frame counter or anything like that. It really relies on like screen transitions, sword slashes, breaking bushes, digging, and enemy movement.
Yeah, enemy movement is generally the big problem for RNG Manips because you can't. They're the only thing you really can't control yourself with your controller.
There's also random things like this dog at the bottom. When he plays fetch, he can also roll the RNG. There's a lot of random stuff like that that's kind of weird, but usually we can work around it if it's not too awful.
So any screen that has enemies, he wants to move through as fast as possible, just because enemies do roll RNG.
So this is where the Manip gives him 10 rupees during this thing. Okay.
Should be a 5 here.
Yep.
No.
And also, so this is Rosa, and she plays kind of like a guard simulator thing.
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek, yeah. And she has different patterns on each of these 3 screens that he's going to go through. And the RNG Manip makes that so it's fast as possible, and we can get the 10 rupees without having to do a backup later. And there's the other 5.
Yeah, she's not the best eyesight or hearing.
She's just trying to get where she's going. She ain't trying to look for no trouble.
That's true. So now we're in Subrosia, which is like the underworld of this game. And it's where we can get the ability to change seasons, which is where we're going now.
Yeah, so we'll be visiting this temple a few times throughout the run. Well, 4 times, I guess. And we'll be getting a different season each time to progress during the game. First season we're going to get is Winter. And like I said before, it opens some paths by like killing trees, maybe some other things. Or like freezing water as well. And also creates these snow mounds.
So there's a lot of seasons, which will allow us to change the seasons at will.
Yeah,
But
so
like
that-
Z said, we unlock them gradually over time.
Yeah, so that stump that Mighty was jumping on during the hide and seek thing, that's where you have to change the season. So you can't do it whenever you want. You have to find those stumps first.
They're pretty frequent though. I guess something else to mention is the game probably intended for you to get the boomerang for that switch, but you can just use a bomb.
Normally, you'd have to go through this horrible minigame called Suburban Dancing.
Yeah, what a horrible, horrible minigame, dude. I never, ever want to see that.
So we're still continuing the RNG Manip. Now he went through the title screen, and that actually rolled the RNG sum, so he has to fix it.
Yeah, the RNG, or the title screen rolls RNG every frame you're on, and you can't mash through it a consistent number of frames every time, so you do have to adjust to how long it took you to get past the title screen.
Yeah, so at some point he's going to kind of get to a reference point where he knows what's going to happen after that. And I'll do it once he comes out of this portal up here. And again, he has to listen to the sword slashes, so...
Yeah, a bit quiet.
Okay. And so now so this is called Mumbling Road, and, well, it used to be really bad when you didn't have the RNG Manip, because optimally you would never equip sword here, and there's a bunch of enemies to go through. But since the RNG Manip, we know where all the
And you can
patterns are and all that stuff.
You can use the rod to push enemies around, but it doesn't do any damage. So that might be used.
And there's also these next couple screens have pretty tight movement, and depending on where the moblins end up, you have to take a different kind of strat to fix the RNG again. And here we're going to get our shovel. And again, the shovel can roll RNG too, so we're going to use that to our advantage.
I love how she was expecting Santa and gets mad and then gives me a shovel. Okay, we got both the turns, so I don't have to do any extra digs.
Cool, cool. Here we're also going to get mystery seeds, which we won't use, I guess, until much later in the run, but they are necessary.
And making our way to Dungeon 2. Dungeon 2 is pretty unique in that there's like 2 components to it. You go back outside the dungeon and there's another entrance. But first we need to go into this main part to get the power going.
Yeah, so this RNG manip is going to end once he gets the power bracelet, which is in like 3 or 4 rooms. So he's going to fix his RNG again. He went through a save equipment or title screen, so he's going to...
I think I messed up.
Yeah.
Eh.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It doesn't really matter too much. It's just to save a few seconds here and there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I messed up.
No problem.
Eh.
We're almost at the end anyway.
Yeah, he got most of the RNG manip, so...
Which is very impressive, by the way.
Yeah,
Can we get a round of applause? The RNG map is
Oh,
one of the hardest things in this run.
actually, I might be able to do it anyway.
Oh my god.
Nice.
So normally we use the sword there when we don't know the RNG.
Yeah.
Because hitting them with one bomb is really difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that.
I've had that happen before. It's luck.
Yeah, if you fail it in a certain way, you get that pattern, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So this is the bomb room. You have to... Bombing these walls optimally and moving through can be kind of tricky. There is a bit of a science to it.
Yes, this room is technically timed, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you have to go through it at a certain speed, but you know, we're good enough where we kind of forget that even exists.
Yeah. If you don't go through fast enough, the chest just disappears, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say I hadn't failed in a run, but I didn't want to jinx myself.
I have.
So these next few rooms are, well, I don't really like them very much. Because if you want to like have optimal equips, you don't want to equip the sword until after you're done this section. But there's so many enemies that are just flying around and going everywhere that it can be difficult to resist the urge to equip a sword.
It's one of the reasons why keys are the worst enemy in the game.
Yeah. All right, that was really good. And in this next room coming up, so before we need to have the RNG manip, you would just have to get rupees somewhere, and hopefully they dropped. This next room has the backup that you would get if you didn't have 10 yet. And there's a chest on the bottom right hand of the screen.
The one he's passing right now.
Yeah, and that has 10 rupees in it, so that's normally the backup for that.
So coming up is going to be the mini-boss, and it actually is one of the more interesting parts of early game. There's a Japanese exclusive glitch, I guess, where he doesn't actually spawn until you go into the bottom half of the room. But his hitbox is still there, so we're just going to throw bombs at nothing, and eventually he'll die.
He's so fearsome, we have to make sure that we don't spawn him.
Alright, see ya.
Bye.
That boss right there is really the only significant difference between English and Japanese. Or I guess
Except
the other
text, of
versions.
course.
Oh yeah, and text.
JP text does save time in this game.
Right.
Are resets faster in Japanese?
Oh yeah, resets are too.
Just got a cool strat with the sword here. He uses so one sword slash to both clank off of the trap and kill the keys. Or not keys, the rope.
So now that I have the boss key, we're going to go to the boss of this dungeon, which is just a Dodongo. He's not really anything special. It's kind of nice that he doesn't have much randomness. He does with like when he opens his mouth, but you can control him pretty easily and have kind of a consistent fight every time.
He's a little hungry, so we're going to feed him. Then we're going to give him burps, you know, as you do.
You know, I gotta admit, not a big fan of Dodongos. Yeah, especially a certain Dodongo.
Well, it looks like this Dodongo is Dodongo.
Oh my. Do you want to cut it off now?
Oh, yeah. Cut the donation incentive off for the animal. Which one won?
It looks like Dimitri the Dodongo won.
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
You have to do it over.
Yeah, do you have to?
Yeah, I'll do it over.
Okay.
Yeah, he needs to listen to an audio cue here.
Yeah, he's doing an RNG manip here.
We probably should have said that. Oops.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. We'll just let him do his thing first.
Okay, now y'all can
Okay.
clap. Did he do that right?
All right, so first we'll explain what he's doing there.
I messed it up again.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So he's trying to get a ring from Maple, and he wants a very specific ring.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, cool. So now he's going to bump into Maple, and you see the ring right there. So the way, I guess, you want to explain how rings work?
Yeah, so there's one of the mechanics in the Oracles is rings. They're just items you can wear. You need to get them appraised at the ring shop. Oh, so here's a bit of a cute extension to the manip. There's 100 rupees. We're gonna need that in a bit. Yeah, we can clap for that. So yeah, rings, you wear them and they give you some special effects. The one we got here is going to be the heart ring, which gives you the very useful effect of giving you extra hearts just by walking around. It refills your hearts after a certain number of steps.
And just because y'all love me so much, we get to do Subrosian dancing 6 times in a row.
Yes, you heard him right. 6 times. It's so bad.
So thanks everyone. Yeah, you did it. Congrats. So when you first do this, the first time you get the boomerang, which is kind of a cool item.
No,
Right.
it isn't. It's useless.
Okay, it's useless, but it's cooler than the next thing.
That's true.
So then you get a Gasha seed, which Gasha seed you can plant in like soft soil, and then after a certain amount of enemies, you can get like a reward, which can be a heart piece or another ring or something like that. Then after that, you get 50 ore, which is kind of the rupees of this Persian place. Yeah. And then after that, you get another 50 ore. So at that point, you're probably like, oh, there's nothing left to get, right? No, you have to do it 2 more times to get the actual flute to get Dimitri.
So that's 1.
And if you've done Goron dancing from ages, normally you have to do that like 8 times, but you can fail it twice. For this, you cannot fail it once, or you fail the whole thing. So it's even harder than Goron dancing, and you have to do it 6 times. We can probably take a few donations as he's
Quite a
doing
few
this.
donations.
Well, we've got them. So, $25 from Spice Father. Hey, Mighty, I hope you're doing well today because you are very wonderful. Best of luck on your season's run from the LADX community. $250 from Zach Clayton. Enjoying some seasoned gameplay from an oracle of speedruns. We have a $10 donation from Alwarion Dragon Ace. Good luck, Mighty. You're awesome. Donation goes to Runner's Choice. A $20 donation from CMM1215. Hey, Mighty. CMM here. Wanted to wish you luck with your run. We're here at the back couch rooting for you.
Song's a bit of a banger, I never noticed. I'm a fan.
6 times though.
That's true.
We got our first fail, so.
Oh, sorry.
No, that was me.
Oh, okay.
We have a $5 donation from Crime. Shoutouts to Mighty. Good luck, buddy. We have a $50 donation from Excuse Me, Princess. Sure, spring, summer, autumn, and winter are nice, but the most important season of Zelda is the 13-episode TV show.
That's 3?
Yeah, that's 3.
Okay.
Oh, halfway there. We can power through this.
We have a $50 donation that says, Hey Mighty Mouse, congratulations on getting to showcase Oracle of Seasons. It's exciting to see one of the most consistently positive people on Twitch up on the stage. Donation goes to Mighty's Choice. A $25 donation from Puffy. Donating for the Oracle of Seasons community that got me into speedrunning. Good luck to Mighty, and thank you for inspiring me to play this game.
What's up, Puffy?
Hey, Puffy.
Yo.
Four.
I feel like I'm being hypnotized by the spinning spinning guys.
Well, it looks like this isn't posing too much of a problem.
We have a $10 donation from Secretly a Velociraptor. Dimitri is objectively the best animal buddy. He's a friendly dinosaur who happily gives you a ride and doesn't even mind if you pick him up and use him as a weapon. Good luck with the rest of the run, Mighty. We have a $100 donation from Lockheed. Oracle of Seasons was and is one of my all-time favorite Zelda games, and I'm so excited to see Mighty Mouth at SGDQ running it. Can't be there to cheer you on in person, but I know you're gonna kill it, dude.
Final dance.
A $25 donation from Andrew
We did it! I'm so happy.
Speedrunner tortured live on stream.
A $25 donation from Andrew127. Can't wait to see Oracle of Seasons. I remember the day my grandparents bought this game for me and grew up playing it and ages. I'm happy to give during such a great game for an amazing cause.
right, so now that we're done all that, we can get the ring that Mighty got like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, in a normal run, you would just go straight from the ring to the town.
Yeah, so in the 80% run, the fastest animal is Ricky. We're not saying Ricky's the best. He's objectively the worst.
Yeah.
But
He is the fastest.
yeah, he is the fastest. And Moosh is the close second. And then Dimitri is 5 minutes behind. But
Yeah.
we all like Dimitri. Just not this much.
We like Dimitri in ages.
Yeah.
So there
Dimitri's
he
great.
appraised and equipped the heart ring. Also, you'll notice he entered the screen below the one right now. That's a warp point, and we need to activate it for later. We're going to be warping back here, so it was very important to remember to do that.
Oh. There we go.
And there he went over to the other screen to equip the heart ring. So now if you pay attention to his hearts, they should fill up pretty soon, just by walking around.
Yeah, you'll hear like a heart sound and it'll fill up.
Yeah, like that.
There you
You
go.
can see how it just ticked up. And these are scent seeds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're useless for anything, but they're good damage items for the Goma in Dungeon 4.
Yep. And this is boxing. It's pretty quick.
Sometimes
GG.
you can trouble. So this is why you need 10 rupees normally. You wouldn't get these extra rupees if you were using Ricky. But that's the only thing you need money for in this game.
Yeah, in a normal any % completion.
So the reason why Ricky is not really a favorite in the Oracle community is just how he moves. He's cute and all, but his movement is super annoying and it's really hard to get good at. He has this kind of hopping that isn't very, I guess, like linear, and his text boxes are really annoying to clear out, and he's kind of finicky with holes as well.
Sometimes he'll be right in front of a hole or just a little before it and decide, yeah, I feel like falling down today.
So there he gets off Ricky before this transition, because if you take him into the transition, he'll talk to you and say goodbye and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't want to listen to him as much as we can, so.
And there we got our Pegasus seeds. Probably the most important seeds we're going to get in the run. They double your movement speed for a short time?
1.5.
1.5,
Yeah.
okay.
Did I get that? Okay.
Just the tip. Yeah, so Pegasus seeds are, since they make you go fast, they're the most important in a speed run. And
And see
especially for seasons, they're really important to kind of route out, because usually the only opportunity you have for Pegasus seeds are going back to the tree that has Pegasus seeds on it. And so you want to use them in the places where it's going to save the most time.
Yeah, Pegasus seed drops are more valuable than gold in this run. So, for example, he's not going to use them in this room because there's better places to conserve them. And they run out when you transition between floors like that automatically.
So this entire swamp is flooded, and we're going to be draining it. And I have a lot of questions, but one, there's a stump that somehow survives being submerged for what I can only assume is like years. And also, how can I learn to move as fast as Mothula and all the enemies getting into the cave?
And so now I get to see some ice physics. It's pretty crazy trying to move in this stuff sometimes.
Yeah, you have to input way before so that you'll slide into the correct position.
Damn, that
Oh
was
yeah,
pretty
this
sick.
is yeah. This is movement you wouldn't normally see in a run. This is just to get our boy.
Yeah, so he needed those rupees that he got from the RNG manipulation to get Dimitri here.
And we're gonna pick him up.
Yeah, he walks very slowly, so.
Yeah.
And so the reason why we changed it to winter actually is to get this gem. So this is to open the D6 area. So it's much later in the run, but this is right here, so it's good to get it now.
Something we haven't talked about yet is shovel canceling. You'll notice that every time after he shovels, he swings either his sword or rod if he has them out. That cancels the end of the shovel animation and can save a few frames.
Yeah, so he needs 4 of those jewels throughout the run, and he'll get the other ones a lot later.
In a normal Ricky run, you'd go through the segment with Ricky, and it's a lot less bad.
Yeah, Ricky can actually punch those dirt piles, so it makes it a lot easier. And actually, if you notice the equip screen there, he kind of stared at it for a bit. The equip screen is pretty crazy in these games because they're never fixed. It's not like, because in Minish Cap, right, all the items are fixed in different spots. And so if you change one thing in your equip route, it can get super confusing.
Yeah. And because we're doing the Dimitri incentive, he's not quite used to where everything is. Also, this is a star ore. There's 4 different positions it can be in. Of course, it was in position 4, which is the worst RNG.
I blame Dimitri.
Yeah, all his fault.
But Star Ore will allow us to go to the shop in Subrosia and buy the bow for Rosa.
Yeah, you can buy that heart piece now.
Yeah, he could.
I could.
Now we're going to go on a date. Best part of the game.
We're dating, and it's a speed run. I guess you could call this speed dating. I don't know why I let the Capcom screen stay so long. Shout out.
So Rosa's actually really helpful because she really likes keys, I guess. So she just has like a million keys, and you can unlock every door.
I wish I could take her into Dungeon 8.
That feel with no key, girlfriend?
And so here we're getting our next season, which I forget.
Summer.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it summer?
Yeah, it's summer.
Okay.
It grows vines and dries out lakes.
That makes sense, I guess. Which we need to get into Dungeon 3.
I feel like summer is like the most useless season, probably.
Using it into
Doesn't really
D3,
do much.
D4.
No, autumn's the most useless season.
No, damn. I would probably take a few donations as we get to Dungeon 3.
Not much going on right now.
Certainly, we have $25 from True Game Colors, who says, "Mighty, you are precious and wonderful." We have a $10 donation from Anonymous. "First time watching live, and what great luck to catch one of my favorite Zelda games being run. Had to donate. Greetings from Puerto Rico."
Now we're just going to totally ditch Rosa by the side of the road because we don't need her anymore. Bye, Rosa. Sorry, you can keep going. I just wanted to say something funny.
Sure thing, we have a $40 donation from Anonymous. "Oracle of Seasons has my favorite Zelda mechanics of all time. I love being able to alter the world by changing the seasons and being able to summon a giant cuddly bear that could fly. Best of luck to Mighty." We have a $10 donation from Huckus the Ruckus. "Just donated already, but I had to do it again just because of how warm and positive the runner is, making a game I already adore even more enjoyable to see. You got yourself a new fan."
So something you might have noticed is that we never got a shield. You're supposed to use shield to flip these guys over, I believe, but you can just use shovel if you time it pretty precisely. So this is the precursor to Shovel Knight.
We even get the feather here. So Shovel Knight's a ROM hack of Oracle of Seasons confirmed.
It's a port, dude.
Support.
Poor. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay, now we're going to attempt this.
Yeah. Z, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so the floor masters appear kind of in front of you, depending on which direction you're facing.
It failed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. You can go throughout this room without killing any of these guys. It looks really cool, and
He's going to get
it's
one
really
more
scary
chance to
too.
do it later.
Yeah, you have to go through this room again.
Again, if you're not familiar with this game, if you get grabbed by the hands, they take you to the beginning of the dungeon, so you want to avoid them at all costs.
But yeah, you basically just want to manipulate your movement as you're pushing those pots so that they spawn in places where they can't get you.
It was done also in Dungeon 1, but it was a lot easier there because
Right.
it's a lot more linear of a path.
So here's a 6-season puzzle. This puzzle is actually pretty difficult when you first run into it.
Yeah, I did a D-Rest run a couple weeks ago and I had to look up how to do this puzzle.
I was gonna say that, yeah, nice seasons puzzles, but I literally forgot how to do it in practice yesterday.
So this is a pretty cool long stretch with Pegasus Seeds. After it, we're going to get the Rock's Feather, which is another one of the most important items in the run because it allows us to jump, which adds a whole new dimension to movement. Oh, I guess also worth mentioning, these yellow guys, or orangish guys, will mirror your movement. So if you hold right, they'll move left.
And he's swinging his sword there to keep his position so he's not moving out.
Mm-hmm.
And just have all the mimics come to him.
Yeah. So when you combine Pegasus Seeds and Rock's Feather, you can make some pretty far jumps, which you'll be seeing throughout the rest of the game pretty much.
Yeah, this game actually has a surprising amount of platforming.
It's the best platformer on Game Boy. There is a trick here he can try.
I had it, and then I messed up.
You can jump up. There's a very small window where you can jump off of that thwomp before he pounds down.
Do that a lot. Really? This is why I hate bats.
Mm-hmm.
These set of screens are probably the worst in this dungeon, or maybe even the game.
Yeah, they're up there for sure.
D-Theory in general is just a super hard point in the run. And if you don't have Heart Ring, like he does, it's even more difficult.
Yeah, this is probably the dungeon that Heart Ring helps out the most in, because you're still low on hearts at this point. Oh, oops. You've had to jump around the corner of the trampoline when you change directions to save a little time, but sometimes that can happen.
Also, I did it twice. Sorry, I know y'all are like cringing right now because I have sword on A. Don't worry.
Oh yeah.
It will be on B soon enough.
This is the only part where it's optimal to have sword on A.
There are 2 other times.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing he did there is, we mentioned before that if you pause during a transition, it lets you move quicker. And during the transition, the platforms are actually moving. And so if he pauses there, he can catch the platforms on an earlier cycle.
So coming up, he's going to get another attempt at Hands Map. I'll be a little quiet and give him another shot at it.
Yeah, I was getting a little scary there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
He got most of it, though.
Yeah, almost full Hands Minute.
The last part of the Minip is super awkward because you're basically stuck in the corner and you have to get them away, and you have to move fast enough so they don't grab you, too.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can go to the mini-boss of this dungeon, which is kind of weird. I don't know. You have to pull these squids out and kill them.
Yeah. You can one-cycle each squid if you do it correctly.
Yeah, they just take 4 hits
So
for
that's
each one.
2. And did a backup there for 3. Nice.
Looks like we cooked up some calamari. I'm sorry, I promised I would do so many puns. I already forgot one.
Puns are encouraged. It's okay.
Absolutely. So here we're going to get the boss key and do a save and quit back to the beginning.
Yes, whenever you beat the mini-boss, they give you like a portal to the beginning of the dungeon normally.
Yeah, and a portal appears at the beginning that lets you go back to the mini-boss.
Yeah, so we're going to use advantage of that. Because the boss room was right there. We just passed by it to get the boss key. And so this boss is pretty straightforward. It can be definitely difficult when you're first starting this run, even when you do it now, because there's pits everywhere. You just have to hit Mothula as much as you can.
Oh, that's the pattern I totally wanted. Thanks, Mothula.
The Mothula can go around counterclockwise or clockwise, and you have to do different things depending on where it goes. Nice. That was a great boss fight.
All right, made it out of D3, pretty much unscathed.
Yeah, so the next section of the run, D3 to D4, is probably like the longest stretch of going between dungeons. After you get to D4, the game picks up a lot.
Agreed.
And we also get to see the animal part of the game. So Ages and Seasons have this thing where whenever you choose what animal you want, it changes a part of the overworld, depending on what animal you chose. So since we got Dimitri, the part that we're going to be going across is all full with water. And one good thing about Dimitri is he actually has the fastest animal section, next to Moosh. But it doesn't make up 5 minutes.
No.
Luckily, it'll go swimmingly.
A bit of a tricky jump coming up. What is a skip again? I don't remember.
Oh, we don't do it when we have Dimitri.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. That's the first time I've ever heard that song in my life.
Aren't you so happy you got the chance to hear it?
Yes and no.
Oh, wait, hold on. I went the wrong way.
Yeah, if it's not Ricky, it's really hard to remember where to go.
Yeah, again, this isn't something we'd normally do in a run, so...
One advantage to having Dimitri is because normally, no matter what animal you choose, you always see all 3 animals at some point. And usually you have to do a little side quest to get each one wherever they are. Dimitri's side quest is normally in the Sunken City, which is coming up right now. And what you have to do is there's kids bullying him or whatever, and you have to give them bombs for some reason, which doesn't sound like a very good idea. But you give them all of your bombs and you have 0. But since we already have Dimitri, you don't have to worry about that. And actually having full bombs is very helpful, because we don't have to farm them later or open a chest if we need them.
And here we're going to get Gale Seeds, which allow you to warp to any of the trees that we've activated, the seed trees. And that will be used extensively throughout the run.
Yeah, so now we can actually warp back to the Pegasus seed tree after each dungeon to refill our seeds, because they're super important to go fast. There's a cool trick coming up here. This is pretty new. So you have to hit all of these 4 at the same time with a spin attack normally. But if you hit one of them but don't release the sword and spin attack the other 3, it still counts as hitting all 4. Pretty neat time saver.
Technically, we did it all in one.
Yeah,
Technically.
the game thinks we did at least. Here we get the MasterCard. Or the flippers. No, we gave him the MasterCard. Yeah, I know this game.
So now we can swim freely.
And I don't need Dimitri anymore. See ya.
Yeah.
One thing I like about Ages versus Seasons is that in Ages you can get the mermaid suit, and it's so fast and you don't have to mash A to swim.
So now we get to probably every runner's least favorite part of the run. It's
Well,
another hide and seek section.
in this specific run, there's a part I like less, but
Okay.
yeah, normally this is the worst part of the run.
So these guys are going to steal your Rock's Feather and give you a useless ore. And similar to when we saw Rosa for the first time, we have to kind of avoid these guys and wait to find our Rock's Feather again.
Unlike Rosa, though, these guys' patterns are always the same. So if you know the safe spots, you can just always do the same thing, which I guess is kind of nice. But yeah, this is a lot of waiting around, so you can probably do some donations.
Absolutely. We have a $1,000 donation. From Thorlar. As promised, here's another 1,000. It's from the entire community of Vikingland, and we're all extra excited for these Zelda runs. Thank you for a great event so far. Looking forward to more runs. Also, pineapple doesn't belong on pizza.
I came out here to have a good time, and I'm honestly feeling so attacked right now.
Maybe this will help. We have a $15 donation from Team Ginger. That's Sabrosian dancing, though. Best of luck, Mighty. Thank you for running such a great Zelda game. Thank you, GDQ, for bringing together great games and great gamers for a great cause.
Quick small note about the Fool's Ore, it actually does deal damage, and a lot of damage. You just can't use it anywhere, and it sucks.
We have a $50 donation that says, "You're awesome, Mighty. Good luck in your run."
So finally we get back our Rock's Feather, and we can save and quit. And go back to the temple to get Autumn, I think we get now?
Spring.
Spring.
We get to do some cool platforming on these next stages.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully I get the jump.
Yeah, there's a quite tricky jump in this underground segment.
He's also lifting this rock for a lot later in the game when we come back here.
Yeah.
Ah.
Not a huge deal, but it is a cool jump.
So one of the weird things about platforms is that you don't want to jump off them on the very first frame because for some reason you lose all your forward momentum. So jumping on 2D platforms and things like the thwomps in D3 are pretty awkward.
Yeah, that's part of what makes the trick in D3 that Mighty tried so awkward, the thwomp jump.
It's just one less frame you can do the precise platforming.
Right. So on the way back, there's another precise trick.
Link's trying to get hot. He's jumping into lava.
Just taking a nice warm bath.
And again. Oh yeah, the other glitch in the game.
Oh yeah, here's the glitch in the game. I don't think we've touched on this yet. This game isn't really about glitches. It's mostly a movement, combat-based game, which makes it pretty unique among Zelda speedruns. But here's a glitch called a Rooster Clip, Kako Clip, I guess.
Yeah.
You grab the Kako through the wall, and
Yeah.
yeah,
That's pretty much it.
that's it.
Shout
so
out.
The 2D Zeldas, or the Oracles and LADX, have something called wall clipping. And you can kind of be like 2 or 1 pixels into a wall if you come at it from a certain angle. And that's the one use of wall clipping in both the Oracle games that have ever been found useful.
You do use them for movement a lot of the time, but that's the only time in the Oracles when you can use them to save major amounts of time and not just frames. Also, here's Moosh.
Now that we've got Moosh, I can barely contain my excitement.
Alright, so here he's going to enter this cave and leave, but this is to set his save and quit position to be this cave, because in a bit we're going to do a save and quit.
And we just need Moosh to get this key over here.
Alright, see you later, Moosh.
Yep, and he's gone.
Oh, I'm not liking these legs.
This is one area where the spawn points of the enemies can create a lot of headache, especially when you have ice here. When he comes down to this screen next time, he can get comboed pretty hard by some of the enemies that are going to spawn there.
There's some cool jumps through here.
Yeah, the jump in the next room, he has to kind of offset himself to the tiles.
Yeah, if you're like on the edge of 2 different tiles, you don't get dragged into a pit as easily, so the jump is less precise. And again, flying across with the cacao.
Back when I was younger, I could not figure out how to use the cuckoos, so I skipped Dungeon 4 and went to Dungeon 5, and then couldn't continue, and it was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm not finishing this game.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, so that sword guy can be in a super bad position sometimes. Hss D4 has the best music.
Yeah, agreed. So thankfully you can use your rod to hit switches like that. He just did.
We have some super exciting pot pushing coming up.
Yeah. This room is the truest speed room in the game.
There are a lot of times where these pots will just be like, I don't really feel like you pushing me, and I'm like, pot, please.
Yeah, if you input like a diagonal as you're pushing, it'll cancel the push window or whatever you want to call it. So you have to make sure that you're not messing with your D-pad too much. This is another room where luck can kind of mess with you. So those green blobs can spawn anywhere in the room just like that, and they can get in your way, and they force you to equip an item to kill them. In this next room that he's going to be going in, it's another 2D section, and like I mentioned earlier with the cycles and canceling out the transition, he'll pause here so he can catch an early cycle on these platforms.
Oh.
The keys was in the way.
Yeah.
Another reason. Keys in this dungeon are terrible. Just awful.
This dungeon in general is pretty cool because you do get a seed refill midway through. So you can be a bit more liberal with the use of your seeds. This room's cool. Yeah. Can skip a good portion of it with some precise seed jumps.
We got some more mine carts. There's some pretty cool skips in this dungeon when it comes to jumping. You can skip a couple sequences.
I guess something worth noting is on the English version, that switch is in a different spot for some reason. I don't know why they changed it. They just did.
Because I think one of the spots here you can get caught.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can hit the lever early, and it'll cause the minecart to just bounce back all the time.
Okay. That makes sense then.
Normally I like those lights to be right next to the water so I can just push them in, but they felt like not taking a swim today.
Yeah, so here he can get his Pegasus seed refill. Like BB said, they're pretty rare to get fixed Pegasus seed drops, but they're nice enough to put them there.
Yeah, and if you've been paying attention, you can see the heart ring definitely paying off. He has full health right now, and that's mostly thanks to just the heart ring recovery. Health riding in this dungeon without it is quite precise, and you're very likely to die if you're not careful with that heart ring.
And so now we're getting to the mini boss of this dungeon. There's just a Wizrobe, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't have any randomness to him. You just have to light the torches at the right time and hit him. He also waited to light them so that he can get 2 cycles off here and then relight them, just so he doesn't have to do it 3 times.
The real one is the one with the shadow.
And more minecarts. So here we're going to get the item for this dungeon, which is the slingshot. And that allows us to shoot our seeds at various things. In this dungeon, we'll use it to change some of the tracks of the minecarts. Maybe we'll do a few donations as he's getting through this dungeon.
Yeah.
All right, we have a $10 donation from 4i Steven. Good luck, mghtymth. You're a wonderful person. And a $10 donation from Mark Van Alphen. Keep up the great work. Let's make sure we hit that Deus Ex DLC incentive. And just checking in on that, it looks like we're at about $3,500 of that $10,000 incentive. So if you're excited about the Deus Ex DLC incentive, get to donating.
So right here, the keys can block the shots, so you'd have to fire twice.
All right,
Thankfully,
yeah.
it didn't happen.
Keys
You have to
control pretty
react
hard.
to it.
Wow.
Here's a cool jump that Mighty's going to attempt. Nice.
Nice, that was great.
Yeah, that jump is quite difficult. You have to kind of like curve your jump. It's very awkward, so it's impressive. Second choice probably breaks even with doing the room the normal way.
Yeah, doing it normal is even hard, because all the keys
Yeah,
are
yeah,
in the
there's
way.
keys in the way, even if you do it normally.
There have been many times where I've died in that room, even with the heart ring.
There's a weird thing with that trap. You see how it kind of went inside the block? If you go down too early, it'll just go through the block and you get comboed.
I lost a run to that one.
Yeah, that happens a lot to new runners. So here he's going to use the Gale Seeds to kill the Wizrobes because they take more than a spin attack to kill, so it's just faster to just get them out.
Yeah, he also knocked one into the ledge because he was fortunate enough to get a spawn. Here's another jump skip with Pegasus Season Rock's Feather.
Oh,
First
that was
try.
Nice.
That jump is another one with a really tight frame window.
Yeah, it's probably only 1 or 2 depending on subpixels.
Yeah.
And here's the Goma fight, which looks really cool.
Yeah, so the way this works is there's a precise spot where you can shoot at the Goma without having to knock off the claw, which is how this fight would normally be done. So if he was standing anywhere else, he wouldn't be able to shoot the seeds at the Goma like he is right now.
Nice.
If you do shoot the claw, like hit the claw off, she becomes way more random, and it's just
Yeah, she starts
so annoying.
moving like side to side really fast. It's not fun times.
And then after this, we'll get the second jewel that we got. We got the first one before D3, and now we'll get our second one. And then the later 2 will come once we're trying to get to D6. So if you actually do a linked run of this game, which means playing ages and then linking it to seasons, these jewels are in different spots, which is interesting.
Yeah, linked any percent is a pretty neat category because there's some differences in seasons after you do an ages run. There's also linked 100%, which is a very long category. I think only 2 people have ever done a run of linked 100%.
It's 10 hours long.
Yeah, it's 10 hours long, so that's probably why. But there is some cool stuff in it. Definitely a lot to do in both games.
So now that D4 is over, the game's going to pick up a lot. The segments between the dungeons are a lot shorter. They're only a few minutes instead of like 10 minutes between D3 and D4. And mostly because here we're getting our last season, so we don't have to continually go to the temple to get our seasons after this.
I really like the platforming in this next couple of screens Mighty's going to do. I think it's one of the better sections in the run.
Yeah, one of the tough parts about it is you have to time your jump after the transition.
You also have to watch out for when your seed runs out, because it will run out midway through the platforming.
You want to do some more donations? This is a good time. There's not much going on.
Sure thing. We have a $50 donation from Don47. Aloha from Hawaii. Now that I have a stable job, I just have to donate during my first Zelda game that I've ever played. We have a $10 donation from Love Mary. Good luck, Mighty. I love you, and you're an amazing person. A $25 donation from Icy Icy. How awesome seeing one of my favorite games in a speedrun, and with the best pet too. Good luck, Mighty Mouth. A $25 donation from Marks Volpez. 'Tis the season for Seasons GDQ. Just had to donate during one of my favorite Zelda games. Seeing our red dinosaur friend is quite the demi-treat.
Can probably fit in one more before the next dungeon.
Yeah.
Sure, we have a $25 donation from Rosa. You bring me a bow, we go on a date, then leave me on the side of the road like some rubbish? Not me, brother. I'm keeping the bow, but this should cover the cost. Now, take your fancy rings and get lost.
So right before we enter D5 here, there's going to be something kind of peculiar. There are these mushrooms on the ground, and I guess you can only have one lifted on screen at a time, so he's going to throw them off screen, and they'll just be a little quicker.
That's also the reason we got fall as well, just so that, because mushrooms are normally like rocks or something.
Yeah, you can't lift them up. So if you like minecarts, do I have some good news for you? Dungeon 5 is full of them.
Now, TBH, this is my favorite dungeon. I love the music. I love, well, the magnets.
Yeah, we get a pretty unique item in this game, or in this dungeon. It allows for some pretty cool movement stuff. And we get it first thing too, which is pretty neat.
It also makes an awesome sound.
Oh yeah, totally.
This is another room where P-Hats can just completely destroy you.
So a quick save and quit here to get back to the beginning. That skips a puzzle that you would normally need to do to leave that room. And here we're going to see the magnet gloves used right away. Cool jump here to get kind of skip going around. And coming back, there's going to be another jump. You're going to notice he's going to pause here. Jumping out of a magnet glove over a pit like that is, I believe, frame perfect, but you can use the menu to buffer it and get it every time.
And since this game has jumping and magnets, Breath of the Wild is obviously just a port of Oracle of Seasons.
Usually when you use the magnet hands, you want to jump beforehand because it actually gives you a pretty good speed boost.
top, bottom, top, bottom.
Okay. So you have to open these chests in the order that you killed the corresponding Armos, I guess. I don't know what they are.
Get some more minecart action going. So at this point, he's getting a bunch of keys so he can finish the dungeon and get the boss key as well.
I like to split the dungeon into two categories, getting the keys and using the keys.
Pretty much. So here he's going to spawn this iron ball, look for the shadow to make sure it's spawned, and then save and quit.
In this room that he's going to go to now, he can do another magnet jump. So these magnets are different. They're rotating magnets. And you have a very large frame window to jump, so you can do some pretty cool jumps here.
Yeah, for some reason, you just hover over the pit for a long time after you use the magnet gloves on these rotating magnets. So you just kind of walk for a bit. It looks kind of silly, I guess.
It's the only time we'll ever be able to do pit walking RTA, and that makes me sad.
Yeah, in the tool-assisted speedruns of this game, there is a trick you can do called pit walking, but it basically can't be done quickly by human hands. It requires too many inputs to do. But it lets you walk over every pit, which is obviously very useful. So I'd recommend checking out a tool-assisted run of this game sometime if you are interested in that.
There's a mini-boss coming up here, some tiger guy. And there's a one-cycle on it. It is pretty difficult, depending on what he gets.
Yeah, it's also kind of RNG dependent.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he
there
got
it
the
goes.
tail spawn on the right side, and that's pretty difficult to get one cycle on. So he has to wait for a few more cycles. I always found this boss tough as a kid. I played through this.
I always found this boss tough. So that's the ball he spawned earlier. That's why you needed to make sure to do that, so you can open that door. Here's a trick. You can just kind of jump through that fire instead of guiding the magnet ball all the way over to block it.
There's some neat platforming here, too.
Yeah. Again, he delayed the cycles a bit by pausing and unpausing when he entered the underground room.
Okay, so upcoming is the boss of the dungeon, and then some guy we have to fight.
Yeah, this room coming up here is a disaster. The keys can troll you pretty hard.
Oh, we
Nice.
got it.
Right.
Nice.
And this is the boss. You need to use the magnet ball, or magnet gloves, to direct this ball to hit him. Then you can one cycle his second phase if you get good luck. Nice.
That's great.
Not only do you have to get good luck with where the guys run around, but you also have to execute very well to get that one cycle. So that was very impressive. I'd say that's one of the harder things in this run. I'm very impressed he got that.
So next we're going to D6. So we're just doing a little side quest to get the rest of the jewels that we need. So we just need 2 more.
They're pretty quick though, so it isn't too big of a commitment. And we're going to restock up on Pegasus seeds while we're here.
Maybe a few more donations as he's going around here.
Certainly, we have $30 from HateBit. Greetings from Korea. Watching at 1 in the morning, and I have work in the morning, but I can't help but watch these Zelda runs. Love everything you guys do, and good luck on the runs. $150 from Piano Man JB. Zelda is my favorite series of all time, so had to give during the Zelda block. Thank you guys for all that you do.
So you'll notice that he finally equipped those mystery seeds that we got a long time ago. This is the only time you need them, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this run at least. And we'll be seeing why in a bit.
And one of the funny things that can happen is that just to save time, he's going to try to light a torch with mystery seeds. Because the mystery seed can be any of the other 4 seeds. And sometimes you can get unlucky and never get an ember seed, so he did there, which is good. But you need the mystery seed for this thing right here.
Yeah, you hit this pile of dirt with the mystery seed, and it spawns the hardest boss.
The black beast. I was terrified. I had to kill it quickly. So because of how far I walked, I can just do this and get more Pegasus seeds.
Yeah, so now we're completely full on Pegasus seeds before the ruins, which is nice. The ruins is all about changing seasons. There's a lot of seasons changes. We're also going to be getting the level 2 sword, which you have to do a Lost Woods-esque puzzle to get. The song is incredible, though. It's my favorite song in the game, so I'm going to be quiet and let that play for a bit.
Yeah, it's kind of convenient we can get the level 2 sword pretty quickly in this game.
Yeah.
In Ages, you have to do a trading quest. Technically, you have to do it in this game too, but the only thing a trading quest tells you is how to get the sword. So if you already know how to get it, you don't need to bother with it at all. So he's changing it to fall just to get these mushrooms out of the way that are on the screen above. Now he's in the kind of Lost Woods section of the game.
So here he needs to make the seasons go from coldest to hottest. So winter, autumn, spring, summer.
I never noticed those though.
Yeah.
So to get the level 2 sword, you do that order and just walk left every time.
Mm-hmm.
You do the same order to get the D6 as well, but you walk in
Counterclockwise?
counterclockwise, yeah.
So now it's summer, and there's the level 2 sword. So the level 2 sword has a few advantages. It does more damage, but it can also break pots just by swinging at them, which you're going to be seeing a lot of from here on out. It's very useful.
Maybe a donation or two as he's going through the woods.
Sure, we have $50 from White Wolfos. Mighty, I hope you're doing wonderful and that your run goes well. P.S. While the Oracle games are great, your friends over in the Link's Awakening community miss you. Come back to us. $50 from Sammy P. Excited for the Oracle of Seasons run. I made the mistake of playing Oracle of Ages instead. Excited to see this get run and for a bunch of exciting runs the rest of the day. Good luck, Mighty Mouse.
So there he does some shovel jumps, which cancels the unleg of the shovel. Looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, so this guy right here is can be super annoying if he spawns on the flower, which hopefully he doesn't. Alright, good. He can spawn almost anywhere on the screen, and there's only like 1 or 2 spots that can really get you.
Oh no. Who is this hag and why is she talking to us? I sure hope it's not Twinrova disguised.
D6 is pretty cool. There's a few annoying parts, but I think the route you take through it in the speedrun is a lot different than you'd probably expect if you played this game before.
When I first did a run of this game, I went up to get a key that we'd normally skip and did a save and quit from the Boomerang. So that's what I get for not actually watching through a run before attempting.
This next room Mighty's about to do is one of the hardest rooms in this dungeon, I think.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Just manipulating this ball is very obnoxious. If you have the Pegasus seeds, you kind of outrun the ball with the magnet hands. So so you have to be careful to not lose it. There's also a pretty cool jump coming up in this dungeon.
Yeah.
It's pretty finicky, because it's kind of like the longest distance you can go with a jump. Sometimes the keys control too.
There's also a fast cycle with this platform here. Yep, and then this jump.
Ah. Okay, really?
Come on, Keith.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, I don't know.
I guess
Yeah, the
it's
seed
ran
ran out mid-jump. Wow.
Okay.
What?
What?
What is going on?
They patched it, dude. There we go.
So I'm gonna not use a seed here just to compensate.
Yeah, knowing how to manage your seeds is a big part of this run. Especially when something bad happens, knowing how to back it up is good. Ooh, there he did something really nice. He flipped that guy into the pit, which means he didn't have to slash him, and it saved a bit.
Wait, hold on. So normally I would not have the boomerang here, and I would just leave my B slot empty, but I have to go get it because the dungeon item is the level 2 boomerang.
Dimitri's still ruining the run, even though we don't see him anymore.
Yeah. Ooh, a Pegasus seed drop. That could be good.
So once he gets past these rooms, he can do some pretty cool things with the boomerang. I don't know if we've explained the magical boomerang, but what it allows you to do is, if you hold the boomerang button, you can control where it's going, and it can go a pretty far distance. So here's you're going to use it to hit that switch. And there's a couple other instances in this dungeon where you use that as well.
Oh, I thought I was gonna hit the keys.
Once again, the Keith trolling.
Yeah.
It never stops. You can also use the boomerang on that spark, and it turns into a fairy. Or I guess it's an anti-fairy that turns into a fairy when you hit it with the magical boomerang. Nice. Hitting all 5 of those torches is kind of harder than it looks.
This next screen, you get jebaited by the game. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, there's a big rupee that appears there, but it's a trap.
I like to call this the Indiana Jones room.
Yes, if you take too long here, the room just crushes you. And you go back to the beginning, right?
Yeah, at the beginning of the dungeon. I had that happen to me in a run. It was tragic.
Since the mini-boss is so far into this dungeon, dying or anything like that is really bad because it's annoying to go through all that stuff again.
Coming up the mini-boss, after he gets the ski here, the mini-boss is going to be probably the hardest mini-boss in the run to do well, I'd say.
Yeah.
Getting a fast kill is very dependent on reacting to his RNG and precise sword slashes.
Yes, he has 3 attacks. One where he just charges Link, one where he circles around him, and there's some other ones that you can't hit him in.
Yeah, he like shoots you from the side.
You don't want the circle attack because it's a lot harder to hit than him just charging straight at you.
It's one hit.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Usually you have a greater chance of getting the charging attack earlier in the fight, like that. For the 3rd phase, normally he doesn't charge. Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good fire. All right, so now the warp is open. So if he does die, it'll be a little less scary. Coming up is going to be the switch room. There's 2 switches. It's a raw 50-50 chance which one is the correct switch. First try, nice. You can get trolled and be stuck there for a while. More hands here, but because we have Pegasus seeds, we move so fast through that room, it isn't really a problem. And I believe their intention in that room was to make you use the magnet gloves to crush those guys with a ball, but you can just use the Gale Seeds on them.
So we're getting pretty close to the boss of this dungeon, which I think when everyone starts running, this is probably one of their least favorite moments.
Yeah, probably.
If you don't really understand how he works, he can be pretty difficult to fight. This is Manhandla, and he has these 4 mouths. And if the one that is closest to you normally won't open, so he's going to have to manipulate his position in order to hit all 4. Normally he wants to kill all 4 kind of at the same time, because
nice.
That was a really good fight.
And then the next phase is just hit him 4 times and slush.
That's
Good
great.
fight.
It's one of the best fights I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was saying, he wants to kill all the heads at the same time, really, because the less heads that Manhandla has, the faster he moves around the room. So you really want to try to get them all down at the same time.
So there's a trick coming up called Boomerang Clip, I guess. It's a small thing, but if Mighty positions carefully, he can throw the boomerang in between 2 blocks. Like that.
Nice.
He uses the pause menu to buffer it, I believe.
Yeah.
That's why he waits to do the boomerang equip.
So now we're doing a little side quest with the pirates to get to D7.
Oh yeah. So we're going to get a bell, and I'm going to need y'all, all y'all, to yell "do it" when we go to the smithy to shine it up, because the smithy has an allergic reaction to the word "please." So I'll just tell y'all, and I want y'all to say "do it." Okay?
So this puzzle coming up is always the same. Thankfully.
Whenever a runner tries to de-rest this game, they always forget what the puzzle is. And
I have a text file called Oracle of Seasons Notes, and it's literally just that puzzle. So coming up, if you remember the star ore could be in 4 random positions earlier. The bell is sort of similar. There's going to be a skull he needs to pick up, and it can be in one of 4 random span pits, and the skull will start like chomping when it sees on the right one. Oh, second try is nice. Second try doesn't waste too much time over first. The thing you really don't want is fourth, because you have to go way out of your way. Third also isn't great, but it's not as bad as fourth try.
If I bring the bell to the captain now, he'll say, "Oh no, that's not my bell. Get it shined." So luckily there's a smithy in Sabrosia that we can go to.
And after we go to the smithy, we are mighty lifted up that rock after the hide and seek thing we did earlier in order to take a direct path to the captain afterwards.
Yeah, a bit of a shortcut that you're able to do.
Okay. I hope y'all are ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ready? Do it.
Do it.
Nice, thanks. If you say please to him, he'll say, "What are you saying? Get out of my store and come back." Link, just keep on trying to get in that lava.
He's trying to cool off after all that dancing he had to do.
Oh yeah, true. Relax those muscles.
Cool off in the lava. Ooh, the jump around the guy. My favorite jump.
Official name.
The jump around the guy. Alright, so... This whole ship sequence takes quite a while. But you know, the pirates need to sail out of the desert.
The cutscene's pretty cool and the music's really good. But
Yeah, well, the first music. The second music is kind of...
Yeah.
But they kind of remind me of the pirates who don't do anything. They just stay home and lie around. And if you ask them to do anything, they'll just tell you they don't do anything.
Yeah.
We'll take a few donations during this cutscene.
Sure, we have $25 from Dex12. I really appreciate the couch keeping us non-runners in the loop. I've been watching the past 3 days, and this has been my favorite run team to watch.
Thank you.
Thanks.
$25 from Ajaxian. I'm the only person in the office today, and I finally get the time that I've been craving to watch some awesome speedruns. Even better, it's one of my favorite Zelda games. Good luck on the run, Mighty Mouth. You're wonderful.
So yeah, this cutscene takes a while, but you know, Corner to the Voyage of a Globe is a real trip, so to be expected. You have to watch all the pirates spin around. I guess they're pirates who get seasick? Is that the lore?
Yeah.
Yeah, the pirates
Okay.
get seasick despite being skeletons. Also, apparently skeletons can die and have ghosts.
There's too many things there.
And the captain is also dating the queen from Ages, so
Wait, really?
yes.
Oh yeah, if you do a linked run, Queen Ambi is right where you do the little puzzle where you push in the skulls.
Oh, wow.
I forgot about that.
So right after he gets off the boat, he's going to go into a cave and do another pretty precise jump. It's similar to the one he did in D6 that will skip having to change the season this summer, I believe. First try, nice.
So D7 has a pretty difficult trick in the beginning of it. There's kind of two, I guess, like Poe brothers or whatever here. And in each of their rooms, respectively, they have these torches that are going out. Once they go out, they warp you to the beginning of the dungeon. You normally have to kill them in order to progress in that screen. But there's just enough time in the screen that he's going in to actually get to that staircase.
Notice how
before
the torches
run out.
slowly go out. If he's in this room when all the torches go out, there's like another second he gets. He gets a second of leeway. But if he's in the room after that, he'll get kicked back to the beginning of the dungeon. There is enough time, however, to reach the stairs before they all go out, and it kicks you out. It's one of the harder tricks in this run, though, so I guess we'll let him focus. He's going to leave the room. He's going to enter the room on the left side to get it.
Did you save, Mighty?
Yes,
I'm
save.
about to.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, that
Oh,
made it.
first try
Nice.
post skip.
Right.
Yeah. Again, your movement has to be incredibly precise throughout that entire room to be able to reach the stairs in time. And it's an awkward room, too. You have to, like, jump around the rollers. It's not a fun time.
As a consequence of doing that, though, I can't die, which before Heart Ring made this dungeon, like, terrible.
Yeah, this dungeon used to be super stressful.
If you go back to the beginning of the dungeon, you have to do post skip over again. This is another room where Keys can do some things that are quite annoying.
This puzzle is pretty cool. I like it. Even though it's easy.
I had a lot of hard times with this puzzle when I was younger.
2 really nice jumps in a row coming up. He has to curve his jump around this ledge. Nice.
That was great. These enemies are pretty annoying to kill because they constantly move away from you, and the only time they stop is when they're touching a wall or they start spinning. I guess you're supposed to use the magnet to make it easier, but
Oh yeah, I didn't
We don't
think
do
about that.
I don't think I haven't tried in years, so I don't even know what happens, honestly.
You can use the magnet, but it just makes it more annoying.
Yeah,
okay.
it's just one of those things.
So it's random which Armos is actually just the statue here.
Oh, I got
Oh,
the
yeah.
2 worst ones.
Yeah, you
Nice.
got 2 pretty bad ones there. You want the Armos to be the 2 that are right next to the switch normally.
Oh. Also, thankfully, there's a nice seed drop that respawns in this dungeon, so seeds aren't too big of a problem here.
So here we're going to kill the second Poe in the dungeon. We need to kill this Poe for the screen that was to the left. And you can't get by that screen without killing him, but it's not really that big of a detour anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, if we hadn't killed the Poe, the torches on the next screen would slowly be going out. And there just isn't enough time with the water to be able to make it to the stairs, unfortunately.
Now at this point of the run is where the platforming gets really cool.
Here he's going to be doing some magnet jumps. And he entered and exited and entered that screen to reset his spawn point just in case he did fall. Alright, and here's a precise jump. He's going to be setting up for it by clanking his sword. Nice.
Ah, almost.
Okay.
Nice. And now he has the level 2 Rock's Feather, or I guess it's the
Rock's Cape.
Yeah.
Which basically gives you an extended double jump. So this is when the game gets absolutely nuts. I love everything from this section on, pretty much.
Pretty much now the run is, okay, let's jump over this.
Yeah.
This room, the floor falls from under
That
you.
was a really good fight.
Yeah. So for the mini boss coming up, it isn't too difficult, but he needs to make sure or at least one of the torches stays lit. If all of these torches go out, he also gets warped back to the beginning, which would be one of the worst things that could happen because the warp still isn't open yet.
Oh. No.
Should be fine. You just kind of like goaltend the torch and it isn't really a problem. And this is the land of a million stairs.
So the boss door room was right to the lower left, and we just need the boss key. Also, the post skip that we did in the very beginning of the run, that allows us to save a key, which normally you would get that key in the room we just passed by in that previous screen. So that's where the majority of the time save is from doing post skip.
Yeah, post skip route definitely makes this dungeon a lot more fast paced, I think. Also, here's the trick. If you just hold right, you will land there.
I still don't know how the clues that they give you in the game mean that, but
Yeah,
it
I actually
does.
don't remember.
So now, thankfully, we've opened the portal by beating the mini-boss, so we can save and quit now.
And so this boss of this dungeon is kind of another reference to Zelda 1. I forget what this guy's called.
Gleeok.
Gleeok, yeah.
Gleeok.
He's a really cool boss fight. You have to make sure you kill his heads at the same time. I mean, you have a lot of leeway for it, but you can't really kill one then the other because the other one will just reattach.
And then you just spam slashes on phase 2. And he does. Pretty good D7 overall.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So only one dungeon left. It is the dungeon though.
It's got the new trick that is
Yeah.
absolutely awful.
If you watched this run 4 years ago at SGDQ2018, this is the biggest change since then, Dungeon 8.
Yeah, so we'll explain it more when we get there, but it's a double frame perfect jump, or bomb boost jump thing that skips basically half the dungeon.
Yeah.
It's pretty difficult.
Yeah, to say the least, it is pretty difficult. Before that, though, in the Enter D8 segment, there's a few precise jumps in this. Are these ruins? I don't know.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the platforming in this section is
Yeah.
really cool.
Coming up is going to be... Well, first there's this nice seed refill here that you can get, and a few hot shovel cancels he's going to do. But after that is going to be the Z jump, because you can jump in like a Z. It's definitely a non-trivial jump.
Ugh. Hate when I do that. And that.
Nice.
There we go.
What
So-
you... Oh.
Go ahead.
What you're intended to do is go over to a stump over there and make it fall so that you can walk over and then change it back to winter so that you can cross. But that takes a long time.
And what's the lore with this part? I forget.
The guy wants to shoot out fireworks, so we shoot off fireworks.
Okay.
And we all know the only way to really save the world is raining fire down from the heavens. So,
We're the good guys, by the way. Believe me.
you've got some time for donations. It's
Yeah.
a pretty long cutscene.
Absolutely. We have $10 from Cardenos. It's always nice to see an Oracle game at a GDQ event. They were actually some of the first video games I ever played, and they're a big reason why I got into gaming in the first place. Always happy to donate to a good cause. $10 from Prinny Dance. Second year watching, first time donating, had to donate during Oracle of Seasons. My best friend and I each bought one of the Oracle games in middle school and then traded to finally beat Ganon. Still got my day one copy. Good luck with the run.
So he's going to change it to summer here, I believe,
Yeah.
to make these vines appear so he can continue on. Coming up is going to be the cave segment. There's a lot of caves in a row that all have some precise trick. Here in this cave, you're intended to use the magnet gloves, but you can make a very far jump with the Rock's Cape and Pegasus Seeds combined.
And I'm gonna fail it twice. Or 3 times, you know. Oh, wow. Okay,
Alright.
well, I didn't want to jump anyway.
Sometimes you just got to play the game the way it was meant to be played.
So D8 is in Subrogia, and so we're gonna go down there, and this is the last dungeon of the game.
Well, last like Essence Dungeon, there's Onyx's Castle,
right.
but that's short.
So this used to be the longest dungeon in the game, but since the new skip, it's actually pretty much cut in half. And so first you're just going to get a couple keys. And we get these keys just for the later half, so we don't have to get more keys from the middle of the dungeon. So the skip that's coming up is called Hss Skip, which stands for Hyper Slingshot Skip, or Half Sword and Shield Skip. It actually stands for a lot of things.
Shout's the sample name.
But so the item that we're skipping is called the Hyper Slingshot, and what that does is it shoots 3 seeds at once. It's not really much more different than that. But so the first thing he's going to do is he's going to run into the screen with a really long pit that normally you spawn a bridge on the other side. And he's going to throw a bomb, boost off it, and then since the rockscape is kind of a double jump, you can actually time the double jump to get like an extra pixel of distance.
And what he's doing here is aligning his pixels and subpixels precisely, which are a thing you need in order to make this jump. Alright, so some quiet here probably for while he tries this.
Yeah, so there he's trying to find the one frame that he wants to jump. And then after that, he'll find the next frame that he wants to do his double jump on.
He ran up against the wall there. That was also to correct his subpixels.
Yeah, so buffering this game is kind of annoying because you can buffer a lot of things out of the pause menu, but you can't buffer another menu out of a menu.
Yeah.
So all of that you have to manually time just to see the right frame.
Yeah, that was too early.
Yeah, one of the things about this trick, especially when you're first doing it, is seeing the exact pixel that Link has to jump on. Sometimes it's really hard to tell if you have the right frame or not.
We got it.
Yeah! Whew. What a relief. That was 4th try, not bad at all. And then another precise jump there, not as bad, but skipping using the boomerang in that room.
Now this dungeon is really, really easy and kind of boring.
It used to be one of the hardest dungeons in the run because of the screens that you used to have to do. Because there's a bunch of ice everywhere, but we basically skip the... Well, I guess this is the ice section, but we skip a lot of the stupid ice stuff you have to do.
Basically, this is like a fire and ice dungeon is the gimmick.
We'll actually come out to an ice puzzle that you used to have to do to get...
Yeah, this one.
Ugh.
There used to be a 2D ice section that was the worst, with keys and thwomps and all of the bad things. For this key, he has to match the movement of the Armos,
Oh, got the... Oh, never mind.
and it's a different pattern each time.
Yeah.
There's like, what, 4 or 5 different patterns?
Yeah, I
something
think
like that.
5.
Something like that, yeah.
So the goal of this part of the dungeon is to throw these ice blocks in various holes that are throughout this part, and that'll make the area below walkable. It basically extinguishes this lava and makes it so you can walk on it. And one good thing about the skip that we did is we only need to do 3 of them, instead of normally you would have to do 4. And the one that we skip is the one that's coming up on this next screen. So normally you have to get in another minecart, get on the screen, and then throw down an ice block. But we can skip that whole segment.
Shoutouts to the bomb jump that no one ever used to
Yeah,
skip.
there was a skip found, like shortly before Hyper Slingshot Skip, that would also skip that, but it was
It was worse.
It was worse. Yeah.
Saved like 10 seconds. And this one saves 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
This is the worst room in the game, especially when I'm carrying my ice block over here.
So I think he just has one more ice block to go, and then he can get to the boss. Maybe a donation or two as he gets there would be good.
Sure, we have $100 from Jeremy223. Love watching the run-through of Oracle of Seasons. Brings me back to my childhood playing amazing games on Game Boy. Remember how fun Game Boy was? Those were the days.
And the final minecart ride of the run. I'll miss you, friend.
I won't.
So thankfully the minecart actually killed one of the, are they Stalfos? I don't know.
Robe Stalfos.
Okay, Robe Stalfos in this room. Which is good, because they can kind of troll you while you're trying to throw the ice block in if they're in a bad position.
If you get hit with the ice block, you drop it. So it can be kind of annoying to fix it.
There have been times when I dropped the ice block and then accidentally jumped into the minecart.
Oh my gosh. I think I've done that too before. So, some seeds there, and we're into the boss.
The only original boss in this game.
This is also, not only is this Shovel Knight and Breath of the Wild, it's also Castlevania.
Uh-oh, I got stoned.
One of the cool strats you can do in this boss is use Pegasus Seeds to stun her.
Oh, I didn't know
to get
that.
damage on easier, yeah. That's why they give you the Pegasus Seeds before the fight.
That makes sense, I guess. So now we have all 8 essences, so we can go to Onyx's castle and save Din.
Yep. Oh, and shout out skipping the mandatory heart container.
Oh, did you? I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
What a legend.
We have to see Husbando Tree first.
Yeah, he has a gift for us because we have all the essences.
I think almost every runner of this game has gone to Onyx's castle without seeing the Maku Tree first. And it feels really bad when it happens.
Makuchi grew up.
Yeah, at first he was the the tree, and then that's the tree he told you not to worry about.
So taking a similar path that we took to D8. Except this time we're going to go left at this fork in the road. And that'll take us pretty much directly to Onyx's castle.
Now I've got a long cutscene if you want to do some donations. We find out a big twist that Twinrova was manipulating everything and it's actually trying to raise Ganon and all that stuff.
We have a $10 donation from Kevlar175. I love seeing less run Zelda games like the Oracle series here. Thanks for the great event for a great cause. Let's put this money toward the bonus Mario Kart 8 tracks. We have an anonymous $50 donation. It's awesome to see Seasons being run at GDQ. My mom and I played through Seasons and Ages together so we could trade the rings. Keep destroying this run, Mighty Mouth. GDQ, keep up the amazing work. $15 donation from OD9000. Hello, I'm watching SGDQ from Taiwan with lots of people. We all enjoy every run in this event. Thank you all.
So going into Onyx's castle, there's a small gauntlet of enemies before you actually have to fight the boss. The Wizard of Boom isn't too bad, you just have to react to their RNG. And then we get to see the final, everyone's favorite room, Hands. Shoutouts to the world record. It got caught here, unfortunately. Could have been a 141, but it wasn't.
Yeah, those hands move like twice as fast as ones in other dungeons.
And this is the boss that we did not fight, but also fought in Dungeon 2.
He has 3 different attacks. He can do the holes, or he can spawn spiders, or do
The
this fire
fireball.
attack. The fire attack's the best one because he's up for the longest. If you don't have 5 bombs here, you can be on this screen for like 3 minutes because the only way you get bombs is if he spawns the bugs. And sometimes the bugs don't even drop bombs.
Alright, and we're into Onyx.
So the main idea behind the Onyx fight is just trying to spin and attack him as much as possible. Especially on the first phase, that's all I really have to do. Now for the second phase, he's going to use Din as a meat shield.
Yeah, you can get these double hits using Din. Din's kind of like stuns you when you hit her, so it holds your sword in place, and that allows you to get the double hits. Also, that tornado attack he just does a ton of damage for some reason, so it's really important he dodged it.
Yeah, it's the only attack you don't want him to do. He's doing it again, of course.
Oh, lovely.
What a dude. Alright, that wasn't bad.
Alright, so now we're going into the final phase, which is the 2D phase. Or, you know, the side-scrolling. The whole game's 2D.
So he's going to try to chain attacks between jumping between his hands. Usually, depending on what he does, you can get 3 or 4 off in the beginning.
It takes 8 spin slashes.
Alright, that was a great save.
Get ready on time, by the way, soon.
Time will be on the last hit. He's probably not going to drop his hand. Yeah.
He has this attack, which he uses when he's at less than half health. And
Time.
Great job, Mighty.
yeah,
Thanks.
great run.
That was great.
Yeah.
Quick shout-outs to the Oracles community for being awesome and really chill and cool. Shout-outs to Z-Master for doing the extended version of that manip, and Jangler for doing the other manip, the first half. Surreal for the heart ring, and just Flocked for the Hss Skip, and just everybody in general for being absolutely awesome and amazing for this run. So thanks, guys. Oh, and if y'all want to learn seasons and run seasons, there's a tournament after SGDQ starting. We start off with 2 essence races. It gets you into the run, and you start learning it at a slow pace so that you can be ready for a full any % tournament. So if y'all want to, you should sign up. Okay, I'm done.
I just want to say that Mighty is one of the nicest people on the internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Mighty is
we should all give him another round of
the
applause.
beacon of positivity. Absolutely amazing guy. I'm so glad he got the opportunity to do this.
Yeah, it's great.
Fantastic job, Mighty. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to turn things over to the next host. Thanks to all the runners and for everybody who was donating. Please keep them coming.
As a reminder, this stream is powered by Twitch. Thank you once again for joining us for Summer Games Done Quick 2018. This is Maple, and I will be joining you reading donations for the next couple hours. Let's take a moment to talk about the reason we're here in the first place. Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières, is a medical humanitarian organization working in more than 60 countries around the world. MSF is a private, international association. They provide assistance to populations in distress, to victims of natural or man-made disasters, and to victims of armed conflict. They do so irrespective of race, religion, creed, or political convictions. You can find out more at doctorswithoutborders.org. If you've just tuned in, you are just in time for another classic speedrun, Paper Mario Any Percent featuring I'm Glower. If you're looking for a donation incentive for that run, we are still looking for $7,500 to equip the Attack FXB badge. We are currently at just over $5,000 towards that, so we're almost there. We have $40 from Nick and Elena. My fiance and I have been watching GDQs together for a few years now. We love getting together and watching the event. It's our favorite time of the year. We are always amazed to see this community get together and raise so much money for a great cause. Thanks for all the awesome runs. We have $50 from Jason R. It's been great watching SGDQ this week while working on my art. It's been so inspirational. Thanks to all involved with this great event, and save the puns. We have $15 from Egg44. Looking forward to the Paper Mario run. I would say a pun about paper, but it's quite terrible. We have $10 from Wacka162. Wacko! I'm Wacka! Just another picture-perfect day atop the prize couch. Woo! I'll charge $10 for every bump perpetrated against me during the Paper Mario run. All proceeds go to charity. Woo! We have $150 from Flare Out. Paper Mario was my favorite game growing up, so I can't wait to see it broken. If you're looking for something else to donate towards during this Paper Mario run, we have a bid war going on. At the end of the game, you have two choices. Well, if you're good enough at the game, you can bring Luigi with you to the party, or you can leave him behind. The bid war is to decide exactly what we will be doing. Currently in the lead by more than 10 times, I believe, at $6,139.18 is Bringing Luigi. Ditching Luigi is falling far behind at $565.17. So if you want to see that glitch, you better bring some money in. We have $150 from Stars Eclipsed. I had to donate during this great block this morning. Let's make this evening even better by adding those Mario Kart bonus tracks. And thank you very much for the reminder, Stars Eclipse. Coming up later on today, Aeon Frodo will be running Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on 200cc for the Nintendo Switch. This will be a 32-track run, but if you want it to be a 48-track run instead, including the bonus tracks, we need to see $30,000 towards that incentive. We are currently at $5,470.09, so we have a bit of a ways to go, but we still have the rest of the day. We have $500 from Ellie77. No comment provided, but thank you very much for your generosity. We have $30 from Hemoglobin227. Pay pipe! This is the game that got me interested in speedrunning, and to a large extent, gaming in general. So when I heard it got into SGDQ, I just about tore my wallet in half trying to get the money out. Here's wishing Glower a nice big bless RNG for those last few boss battles. We have $15 from Climbing Coder. Ow! I don't have a whack-a-bump to donate, but here's some money instead. Let's get that Attack FXB badge. We have $125 from Morbulus der Kranke. Just wanted to drop some more money on this awesome event. Money goes to Runner's Choice. We have $100 from RJB2018. I've been looking forward to the Paper Mario run all week and steadily donating for the Glitch Exposition. Super excited to watch I'm Glower break my favorite game. We have $50 from Cobalt Knight. Paper Mario was the first RPG I ever beat, and it's always great to see new ways people can break the game. Good luck on the run. And let's take a moment to thank one of our sponsors. Power Up Audio is an indie sound studio from Vancouver, Canada. They've worked on games such as Celeste and Crypt of the Necrodancer. The entire team is here at SGDQ, including Jeff, Joey, Kevin, and Cole. So if you see them, make sure you thank them for donating their time on sound 24/7.